Hello, welcome to my classroom tour. My name is Luke Sponsler, and this is the start of my classroom tour of TPE2. We're outside my classroom now. That's my bicycle that I ride every day for lunch, and I let students use to ride around. We have a big campus here, and sometimes students will need to get around quickly, so I let them borrow it. And there's a student-created sign for my classroom. We all have key cards to promote safety in the school site. So to begin, I work at a public charter school for students starting at age 16 that did not make it in a traditional setting. We partner with a vocational trade school. It's a job training program. We have 17 trades on campus. Things like trades like welding, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, plastering, cement, etc. Students earn a trade certification and a high school diploma. One unique feature of our school is that we are open exit, open entry. That means students can start school any day of the year. They can also graduate any day of the year. So this layout here represents kind of the style of our school. Due to the open exit, open entry of our program, a lot of the instruction is individualized. You'll notice that there's a computer station set up around the room. I like to have a very clean, clutter-free, open space. So that's why it's laid out as it is. I have the computers against the wall, so there's as much open space as possible. Also, because of the nature of electronics, you need to have that as well. You'll notice there's a seat empty between most of the seats. So when I can, I have the students first fill in on the one seat away from each other. And then what I do is I fill in the seat between them so I can work one-on-one with each student as I circulate through the room. And then we have a center table where we do small group instruction, which offers the small group table, offers opportunities for small group learning. I have the space set up to be relaxing and to be clutter-free and clean in order to, I wanted to have my classroom be more of feel like more of a coffee shop or a library or a study lounge or an art gallery than I did necessarily a classroom. Remember, these students are in a job training program, so this situation sets up nicely because in a career, in many jobs, you work more individually and small groups than you would in a large, 36 group one at a time style of a job. Most job tasks and careers are done either small group or individualized, and that accommodates this. Let's start out with some of the procedures of the class. Students walk in. Their weekly goal is posted on the whiteboard right here. That's just a percentage goal. So that just is an overview of what I want the students to achieve each week. And then on the table, they come and they pick up their daily goal right there. I have the classroom expectations up on the wall. I have the classroom schedule up on the wall. While students are getting logged into their online curriculum, because we have a lot of the curriculum online, while they do that, I will have a quote of the day or question of the day up on the board, up on the whiteboard, and we gather around the middle table to talk about that. We go over the classroom expectations, and one big advantage to having an open exit, open entry program and have a classroom setting that is mixed ages is that students really learn from each other. The behavior in our school is outstanding. We rarely have issues. And I attribute some of that is to like when the students come new into the classroom, the culture is already established in the classroom. They're not learning for the first time. They're actually seeing how the other students work on a daily basis, and they make that happen. With expectations, it's also good to have positive behavior supports. We have a birthday calendar. I like to give students a a treat of some kind every time when it's their birthday. We also have a student of the week and a student of the month awards that go out every week to our students who are performing excellent. Some of the safety features of the classroom. I mentioned the key codes, key locks. We also have these sleeves right here in case of a lockdown. This is just one little extra level of support. Our campus is a closed campus, and they do have security. The students live on campus, and it's not really, students stay here during the full weekdays, and then they're allowed to leave on the weekends. We also, of course, have a sign-out sheet for so students are accounted for. Little funny old tech that the students like. Over here is our, like to call it our Zen Den. This is where students have a chance to take a break from just from whatever they need to take a break from. We have a nice chair and a plant, a little carpet, a little bit of privacy. It's not some place that students spend a lot of time, but it's nice to have a timeout space. I have these books set out on the table. They're just like big visual books, so it's good to have if they're in the Zen Den, they can't be using their phone. That's not the idea of the Zen Den. I have some visual books that they can look at. Speaking of phones, we do have phone storage over here. And I have a charging station near my desk where students can charge. That's often a thing I do when students feel reluctant to give up their phone. I will often say, well, why don't we charge it? And that often solves that problem. We have a gallery wall. Like I mentioned before, I like to have my room feel more like an art museum than a classroom. So these are some paintings I had the carpentry students hang up. So I go to a lot of estate sales and stuff to get stuff hung up. We have more student work up here, some visual aids, posters that they do. That was for Women's Month, Flags of the World project. We'd like to also have students curriculum that's off the computers. That gives students a chance to do something that's not on a computer. But the things I do have on my wall are things I like to use. Not only am I the special ed teacher, I also am in charge of social studies currently. So there's a lot of this is social studies materials and the Bill of Rights up there. Each station is equipped with headphones, so students can be distraction free. So each student has headphones there. Keep the lighting nice. We have these skylights. I put those covers in to keep the lighting nice so it's not too oppressive. Okay, now some of the UDL features in class that I like to talk about is for engagement. We have, we want to get students off the computer, so we have paint supplies. We have the news often up in the corner. We have just the news on up here, and so if there's something big happening, we can mention that. We mentioned the reading nook or the Zen Den over here. For representation, we have the visual aids. This electoral college map, a student designed. We have a hands-on globe. The computers have level readers and closed captioning. And for expression, I can cite flexible seating. We sit apart from each other, but they also have preferred seating next to me if they want. I have a stand-up desk to promote standing up and stretching. And we have a lot of hands-on activities like the tactile maps and these projects on the wall. Well, that's all the time I have. Thank you for the tour. Hope you enjoyed.